and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, September 5th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. As we experience this life, there's a lot of things that we prefer not to revisit. And these are things that accumulate within us throughout our stay in this life. We don't care to revisit them because they're too traumatic, and so they stay with us, and they're there. And a lot of us don't realize is that if you were able to just, eliminate or let go of all of these, and, we carry them, and they're unwanted emotional experiences that we ignore or forget because they are so traumatizing to deal with. So what do? We push them to the back of the fridge anytime, or the closet. We smell them, and they can literally pop up very quickly at any moment in a conversation, watching a movie, or just being by yourself. And the tendency is often to just suppress it and deal with it later, which we do. We just, I don't care to go there. The problem is that life contains a new experience each moment, every split second. So we can easily become distracted by the new experiences on our plate and never make time to clean out the old. This is very important for us to grasp, is that there's no way that you're going to, if we accumulate things through this life, and say they're not that pleasant, and we keep them harbored, most emotional things that have occurred, trauma, so on and so forth, and we keep them. We think that they're gone, but they're there. We don't walk through them. We harbor them, and we ignore them. And so what happens is that since we have a new experience each moment, we become distracted and by the new experiences on our plate, and then we never make time to clean out the old. So suddenly, years go by, and the last thing we want to do is open up whatever was in that old Tupperware tight-sealed container or of rotting leftovers. And many times we don't even remember what our leftovers are. Now, the good news is that you really don't have to remember right now. You simply make the decision to open up and feel these emotional leftovers the moment they reveal themselves. They do. They'll bubble up throughout our lives. And if you want to face them directly, if you choose to face them directly, and you say, I feel compelled to face, to face these directly. I just don't care to have them messing around with me for the rest of my existence here in this body. So you sit silently in a quiet room by yourself for a few hours. Soon you'll get a small sniff of one oozing out of its container. Now, we all may unconsciously avoid the odor, the sight, and the thought of an old emotional leftover and cover it up with a sweeter fragrance, or perhaps, the type that likes to dig into, maybe some of us that like to dig into our past memories all the time, reliving the nostalgic yesterday greatest moments. And this is like reheating the same batch of old lasagna in the microwave and attempting to dig into it again and again. Even though there may be a few morsels of nutrition in there, it will never be as healing and fulfilling as the fresh organic fruit picked right out of the garden today. Meaning that this present moment is where the life force is truly at. It's not found in the fulfilling in the past or in the future. It's all here right now, as I've often said. But see what happens when we all are, none of us are exempt from this. We're all susceptible. And through this life, since we have new experiences happen every split second, the traumas and the things that we've experienced in our past, they don't go away. They bubble up, and you experience them at times. And it's like it's like when you burp and something comes up in your throat. It is the acid, and it feels really uncomfortable. Or when you drink liquid and it goes down your windpipe instead of your esophagus, it goes down the windpipe, and it's you're gasping for air and coughing and stuff like that. So we don't care to visit. It's funny. We go to the past and we reminisce on old things, old things that we have experienced. And we reminisce and reminisce. It's just like the lasagna. We keep reheating it and keep eating, taking a bite out of it over and over again, and nutritional value is gone, but we still try to indulge in that memory, that thought. And so when we realize that if you have not cried, been angry, or felt any real emotion for months, it's maybe time to clean out your closet or your emotional refrigerator. Make a compost pile far away from everyone and toss everything out with great catharsis. All of it. Toss it out. Go far out and create a compost pile far away from everyone and toss everything out with great catharsis. The full understanding of why these experiences occur in our lives is not necessary, yet it will come to you at the right place and time. You don't have to figure out why trauma has happened to you or why you created into reality or manifested that experience. You just need to clean out the fridge. The past is a dead thing, and it's inert, and you waste precious energy each time you avoid, pretend, or ignore any old rank experience oozing up in you. And with just a little bit of housework, it will allow and give room in your fridge for new experiences like love, joy, and sensual aliveness to move in. There's something very healing. Now, it's not saying that a lot of people do this, because, again, what is it? We create into reality a thought, which is fear. So we immediately are triggered with the fear. There's something very healing, though, empowering and liberating about releasing all the pent-up emotions that are buried inside of us. Don't you ever wonder if this liberating feeling isn't the main reason why we hold on to them in the first place? The many powerful results that occur through deep emotional cathartic release, you'll find that over 95% of dis-eases simply disappear when there is no longer an emotional attachment hooked into your body's memory of certain events. We really have no idea how much joy is possible inside our bodies until we get a whiff of clean air when the emotional garbage has left the building. If you ever find yourself becoming triggered by the smallest things in life. Okay? Have you experienced that? Just something absolutely minuscule that triggers something within you, anger, whatever. It's a good sign that you have some of your leftovers are starting to smell, and you're desperately needing really needing a deep cleaning. And it really depends on the depth of your curiosity, yearning, and courage to explore the darkest corners of your emotional fridge, closet, however you visualize it, for you to find and toss out your internal leftovers. Now, the golden secret key here is to be patient with your investigation and use every little thing that triggers you in life as a light bulb to locate the doggy bags that are hidden deep in the past. So you can use different kinds of meditation, but it's important to realize which is most effective for you. So every time that we have a bubbling up in our experiences in our life, they're past, and a lot of us have this. And what do? We usually just push it back. We do. Don't we? We push it back, or we get angry for no reason, or upset for no reason. And you say to yourself, why am I feeling this way? And sometimes you don't realize what it is that's instigating your unsettledness. I have watched people who, through trauma and not releasing and surrendering it, left the body because of it. That's why I say over 95% of all diseases are due to this. We carry, and we carry, and we carry, and we don't literally face it. We don't get rid of it. We don't get a compost pile out in the middle of nowhere where there's no one around and dump it. And this is why so many of us have miscombobulated emotions at times and misdirected in different perspectives and attitudes, because we're carrying many things that serve us no good at all. If anything, they're highly detrimental. They're weighted. It's really, you feel like you've got a yoke on your shoulders. You ever seen one of those on the water buffaloes out in India and stuff? And they get those big heavy yokes on them, and they're pulling things, or they're doing some tilling in the field. And you've got these two chains and big heavy weighted balls around each of your ankles. And as you go through this life, and you're experiencing every split second, those things you push, but yet you still feel them, like the balls and the chains around your ankles and the yoke on your shoulders. So don't you ever feel heavy when you're going through life? We all have this at times, but we don't, it's almost like we're not consciously aware that, well, this is all the garbage I've been dragging with me. It's just been rotting away in the back closet or the back of the refrigerator. I don't even want to look at it. I'm just going to leave it back there. I don't know, it's disgusting what's in there. You know, and have you ever done that? You open up a container, it's been sitting in the back refrigerator, you decide to clean the refrigerator out, and you start going, oh my God, what is that? And there's stuff growing on it and everything. Well, picture that in some of the emotional traumas that you've held deeply within you and buried. See, that doesn't work, because it will resurface and it will come back at you force you to do that or convince you to do that. It's up to you to determine, say, this all goes back to thinking for yourself, governing yourself, and leading yourself. This is all wrapped up within you. No one else. And anybody else, it's their decision to make on what they're going to do with all that goop that they have collected through their experiences. And it's all in the past. And it's all sitting there rotting on shelves, you see? And every now and then it quaffs up and you can smell it. And you try and push it back, or you want to get rid of it. And that's what you do. You get rid of it. And then you have a tremendous amount of clean room to put new experiences there. If we all could, or I should say when we all do, in our own way, release and dump all this old garbage that's dead. It's inert. It's just, does it make any sense to any of us that we do that? Well, sure it does, because we get off into different things. When you accumulate from past experiences and you dump them somewhere in the past experiences of your refrigerator corner, and then you're continually wandering off into the future, say, and you're creating things that really aren't there, and then you're in the now, and so then it becomes very critical that you identify, because it can pile up, see, and then you have no room for newness. You don't. You have, because you reject it, because you're so full of all the garbage that we've collected through this life. And we do. We all collect the garbage. It wasn't garbage when we had experienced it, but then we let it ferment and decay and rot within us. And then that stuff comes up. And someone could say something to you that's totally innocent, and you could respond in a sharp tone. And, it's like, what the heck's that all about? It's because these are irritating, these garbage that we've collected in our Tupperware containers, and just let them sit in those containers and rot, and every now and then they'll burp out, and we smell the rancidness of them. And I know this is it's a very detailed depiction, an analogy of what we are confronted with by ourselves. The things that we try to ignore, the things that we try to push away. This is with ourselves. This is why we talk about all the time about surrendering and having no attachments or any expectations, because this harbors this stuff. And imagine people, those of us who go in the past reminisce good things, well, the rotted containers are there too. And that's the danger I talk about. It's great to go, hey, reminisce about this and that, but it's all gone. It's inert. It isn't active. It has, it's like, I'm going to keep that, because I just don't care to deal with it. It's over, but it isn't, because it's in you. A lot of this stuff we carry with us, we just think it's done with. Oh, it's done with. I'm done with that. But it isn't, because you haven't faced off with it. And when I mean facing off, you embrace it and walk through it. It's the only way. A lot of us we walk the opposite direction. We either walk or run the opposite direction, because I'd say, I don't care to deal with that. Just heck with that type thing. And this is why a lot of the times we become irritable. As time goes by in life, we become more cynical. We become more pessimistic. All of these things bubble up, and if we collect more and more of them, and we put them in that cubby and that nook and that cranny, and we keep them, sitting there, eventually they'll rot right through the container. So you begin to realize that, well, I've got to, I don't care to have that. I want free, open space to introduce all kinds of new and exciting experiences with. When I have, put it this way, you have a car, right? Let's say you rent or own a home, okay? The home has a garage, okay? But you can't get the car in the garage because you have collected so much stuff that most of it you never use sits in the garage, so the car can't get in the garage. So when it snows, you go out and then you go, I've got to do something about the contents in my garage because there's so much of it. And I'm tired of shoveling snow off my car because I've got a perfectly good garage that I could just get in and drive out. And this is what happens to us. And then we say, oh, well, maybe I'll do that later. And so we accumulate more stuff in the garage, and it keeps accumulating. And then we get to the point where it says, there's no place to put anything. Now picture that, you being in that visualization, that you're the garage, and all of that stuff has accumulated within you, say, which doesn't give any space for anything. What it was intended for is to put the car in there. Here's the car, keep it out of the elements. Keep it out of the sun, keep it from baking and the upholstery from cracking. It depends on, and when we say, yes, I'm going to do that. And most of the time we never do. So where do you think a lot of the dis-eases come from? Why do we talk a lot about, as we will in this meditation, of the emerald green flaming healing light? We are the power of healing. And we are. That's literal. And what happens is that we believe, a lot of us believe, that these diseases come from out there. No, they're out there. They're going to get me. They're going to come and get me. So, when you realize is that you're harboring all kinds of debris that eventually will turn into dis-ease. It starts with the emotion. The emotion begins to ferment. You ignore it. You've experienced it, and you shove it in the back. And then as time goes by, you forget about it, or you think you do, until it seems to bubble up. And then when it bubbles up, you experience emotional unhappiness, forlornment. You're not too pleased. Something sparks something. Then you say to yourself, why did I bark at that person? They weren't doing anything that would normally cause me to get upset. Why in the heck did I do that? See, this is about knowing who and what you are. When we talk about this, and we talk about going within, this isn't temporary. This is permanent. And so as you discover who and what you are, all the different aspects, all the different nooks and crannies, you're there, you've got your cleaning stuff, and you're just absolutely elated that you've been able to identify these things, no matter how spooky they may seem to you. But you go in and say, these are all done. I'm cleaning them out. I've got these big, leaf bags, and I'm just dumping all of this garbage in, and once and for all, it's done. I want this out of me permanently. All right? And guess what? You may cry, you may laugh, you may feel just completely blitzed. It just depends on how much garbage we allow ourselves to carry that serves us zero. Absolutely zero. So, you determine. Because if you are journeying within you, and you are committed to discovering who and what you are, you will come across these. And you will not be afraid of them. You will be elated that you've acknowledged the fact that you have them and you've been carrying them with them senselessly because they serve no many, and you fill the one leaf bag up, pull out another one and fill that one up. Seal it tight, use it as a compost, and it can serve no other greater good, not within you. And it is eliminated. Dump the garbage out of you. Dump it out permanently and nowhere near you. So you should literally eliminate it. You don't do it by just throwing it and then running. You look and you say, okay, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. And you may tear, you may cry, you may laugh, you may do a lot of things as you're doing this. But it is completely cleansing. You are literally eliminating all of the garbage that we drag with us in this life, and we all do. We all drag it with us. So, if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. When your body is at dis-ease, we have a lot of things going on all the time. So we do whatever we can to allow the body to relax in a natural state of relaxation. So we carry things, tension, stress, all kinds of stuff, and the poor body harbors it. It's like a sponge that's too wet sometimes. And so we release all of it. Any attachments, anything that you may have pulled with you in the last 24 hours, let them go. Permanently, okay? Remember, once you clean all of the goop and all the debris that you've accumulated through different experiences of trauma, then when you have something, you are right there to make sure it doesn't ferment and rot so that you can eliminate it. So the body relaxes, listens to you, knows that you love the body, and you release all of this stuff. It's gone. It's vaporized, never to return. And as you do this, the body responds in kind, relaxes, and then as you do this, you move into the now. And I'm telling you, the now is your best friend in the now. And the reason is, do you really care to keep visiting the past? Do you really care to spend a lot of time wondering about the future? See, these are expectations that you don't care to have. And they're attachments that inadvertently you accumulate, and there's no place for them to go. So you release it all. Literally, you don't run and ignore it and hope it go away by itself. You turn and face it. You face it. Not with anger, not with revenge, but with deep eternal love and gratitude. And you love yourself because of the fact that you are who you are. You're pure consciousness. You're the God. You're absolute divine perfection in that body. So doesn't it make sense that why would you spend time in a future that doesn't exist, wondering, and constantly visit a past that's dead, gone, and accumulate garbage that starts stinking up the whole house? So you release it in the now. You go into the now, moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. Every single moment is what you're experiencing, which is the now. And what does it do? It stills the ego mind. It stills the subconscious mind and the mind. It stills them. All that chatter and everything, all those thoughts being thrown at you. Because you're only focusing on the moment. You don't go in the past. We all do, but it kind of can be dangerous if we go into past too much, because all of those rotting containers are there. And maybe you'll say, I don't have any rotting containers. I don't have any at all. We all do. Every one of us, some way, shape, form, or another, some more severe, more impactful than others, some lighter, but we all do. We do not have completely medicinally clean refrigerators. This is why, so many people are confused in this life, because they spend so much time in the past reminiscing that they create a future from the past and relive that past in that future. And then they wonder why they feel like they've been going nowhere their whole lives, and they feel like they've been running in circles. That's why. So the now is wonderful. It's uplifting. It's phenomenal. You dump the garbage, clean the area so that you can bring in new experiences, new stimulating adventures. There's no way that you could put another package in the garage if it is so full that you can't even open the door. Okay? Even though some of us may try. We've got to go in there and clean it all out so we can make room for the new stuff that's just elated to come in. Now as we relax the body and we're in the now, we want to breathe. How do you know you're in the now? I've had that question asked. If you're focusing on your breath, you're in the now. Okay? And by being in the now, you're only focused on the moment that you're in, moment to moment. So when you breathe and you breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and you focus on your breathing, it will always bring you center with now. It will always focus you, eventually, back into the now. Your breath, as divine as it is, will focus you on the now. There's no future breath, and there's no past breath. We don't store breath. It is only in the moment, in the now. So as we do this, and we're seated, and we're in a comfortable position, we tend to our bodies, both physically and spiritually. And we have 7 energy vortexes running from the base of our spine all the way up to the center, to the top of our head. These 7 energy vortexes are called chakras. They are the connection or bridge between the physical and the spiritual, back and forth. And they allow our chi, our God-life energy, to flow freely through them, to keep us in balance, and to be in peace and tranquility and high self-esteem and ego gone and heart-mind confidence front and center. So we start with the red wheel of light. These look like flowers, all different kinds of flowers, and in the centers they have geometrical shapes, all different. None two are alike. And so the root chakra, the red wheel of light, the Muladhara, this represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded. It's at the base of our spine, the tailbone area. And what are the emotional issues connected to the root chakra? Survival issues, such as financial independence, money, and food. Physical association is the spine, the rectum, the legs, the arms, and the circulatory system. You'd be surprised how many of us are always tense with the rectum, constantly. And that causes a lot of problems later. But we aren't totally relaxed. If you were, your rectum would be too. And in most of the cases, it isn't. And I know that sounds strange, but it must be acknowledged. Then we go to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra, the Vadasthana. This is our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. And what happens when you can't accept new experiences? Well, Go to your sacral and find out why. Use acupuncture, acupressure, to help open up that vortex and keep it unblocked. And then your acceptance of others and new experiences will flow freely. And it's in the lower abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. And the emotional issues are sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, and sexuality. And the physical association, reproductive organs, kidneys, bowels, and immune system. We go to the golden wheel of light, the yellow wheel of light, the Manipura, the solar plexus chakra. It's our ability to be confident and in flow of our lives. So you're not being directed. You're the director. And it's in our upper abdomen and the stomach area. Now, our emotional issues are self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. If you have issues with any of these, then you have blockages in your solar plexus chakra. What are the physical associations? Our central nervous system, our pancreas, our liver, our digestive tract, our skin. You know, a lot of people end up, this is the root cause, with a continually blocked solar plexus chakra, with diabetes, malfunctioning pancreas. We move to the heart chakra, the green wheel of light, the anahata. This is our ability to love. Center of chest, just above the heart. Love, joy, and inner peace, emotional issues. Physical association, our heart, our thymus, lower lungs, circulatory system, immune system. And we go to the beautiful blue light, wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate. It's in our throat. And emotional issues are communication, self-expression of feelings, and the truth. I will say that if you have issues with self-expression of feelings, it means that you have some blockages in your Vishuddha, your throat chakra. And the physical association, your thyroid, respiratory system, teeth, and vocal cords. Then we move to the third eye chakra, the ajna. This is our ability to focus on and see the big picture. And the location is our forehead between the eyes. You can call it the brow chakra, because it sits right there in between the brow and between the eyes. Emotional issues, intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions. What happens if you don't have ability to make decisions? Well, you may look to the ajna, the third eye chakra, to see if it may be blocked. And it may be what's keeping you, part of the reason is maybe one of the pieces that's keeping you in a bicameral mode. Then we move to the crown chakra. This is the violet wheel of light. The highest chakra, it represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. It's the very top of our heads, and the emotional issues are inner and outer beauty. It's our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. It's the connection with pure consciousness, the God within us. And its emotional issues are our inner and outer beauty, our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. In the physical association, pineal gland, brain, nervous system. Now visualize this wonderful divine positive energy, our breath. And we're bringing it right through the center of our bodies, through these energy vortexes that are the conduits between the spirituality of existence and the physical experience, and bridging together. And the divine positive energy, our breath, it sustains the vessel that holds the God. It is divine, as we are. And we bring it right up top of the head, just a little bit back, and we hold it. I am light, I am love, I am. And in the brief moment that we hold it, we compress and condense it into pure liquid energy, and we release it over the pineal gland. Why would we do that? Because the pineal gland is very important to us while we're in these physical bodies. It is our connection. It's our conduit to all the particles of existence. It's a gateway to pure consciousness and beyond. why wouldn't we want it fully functioning and completely healthy? Why would we ignore it? So we release this pure, celestial energy over it, and it literally opens up. You can look at it as a prune, a raisin. I look at it as a rosebud, and it just blooms with a full fragrance, a wonderful fragrance, and it's eternal, vibrating, pulsating, sending out waves of love and deep compassion and understanding and gratitude, and all the petals are multicolored, and it opens up all the conduits. It opens up all the gateways forever. We're all consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we're merged. We know this. We know that the God within us is merging with the body, the heart, mind, the soul, the spirit, the higher self, all facets of the one. So we know that we're merged. This is when we walk this planet. It is heaven on the earth. It is the paradise. Once you fully embrace of who and what you are. Now we have others with us. We have the archangels, the seraphim, the cherubim, and the archetypes. And this is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. They are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. We do meet with them. All of us. It's always pleasant. It's always joyful. And we don't usually notice it until after we have met with them. And when you come to the full realization that we're all part of each other, you love yourself, you love everything, you love each other. They've been assisting us for a very long time, so we them. Over many thousands can surround any one of us at any one time because of their vibrational frequency. They're able to have a large number in a small area. We have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth. Many, many, many more. These are those who have mastered ascension out of body and hold pure consciousness, God form. We are mastering ascension into body to experience physical form. Does it make any of us any more powerful? No. They've mastered, we're mastering. Now all of us assembled here in this now, in this meditation, to form in this circle of light, the liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. So we call out to all the other facets, all the other pieces, all the other reflections of source creation. So we call upon all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us. This now in this meditation, that's the only way they can be. And they come in gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe. They come in trillions from every direction. And they are with us now. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, beneath Earth, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now. We call upon all the off-worlders, all of the galactics, celestials, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. Now, we're only familiar with a handful, somewhat familiar with a handful of them. Over 1,000 of them travel through the solar system every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, this includes all of the species and all of the levels of each civilization. The Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, feline, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, and many, many, many more. And only the highest frequency at this gathering, they must be consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. They've been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they, in the billions, are with us now. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, and forming the circle of light. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, the forming the circle of light. If we aren't, we would not be here. All of us. So we're only familiar with a handful of them. They come in the trillions. Shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, which many, let's say we only recognize 1% of them. And just to name a few, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they are with us now. We're all gathered, all of our gods, all as one, arm in arm, hand in hand. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God light energy continues to intensify, continues to expand, and can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Now, arm in arm, hand in hand, we form this massive circle of light. It is embracing the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation. The light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of space. Where does it come from? It comes from the God within us, the pure consciousness, source creator. It would take over 1 billion of the suns in this solar system to even come close to equaling the brilliance of this circle of light. And we begin to ascend up above the planet. Now understand, this white light is literally flooding, bathing, and saturating all life, everything and everything, perpetually, eternally, unending, with deep eternal love and gratitude. So as we continue to ascend up above the planet, we're immediately met with a gossamer field filled with trillions of little reflective mirrors of brilliant, vibrant, multitude of colored lights. And these are all the reflections of all of us gathered in this meditation for the liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this circle of light. So all of these beautiful reflective mirrors, mini mirrors everywhere, reflecting all the aspects, all the pieces of all of us and Source Creator. And we're met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This column reminds us of our omnipotent power, our strength and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This column reminds us that each and every one of us are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with a white fire armor, a God-light energy armor. The highest of the highest high frequencies. It cannot be penetrated by any external authority, power, vexing anything. Nothing can penetrate it from external authority, external influences, nothing. It is impregnable. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough to dip into the lower dark matter and survival matter frequencies, you will create a breach in your field and allow them to come flooding in. If you choose to do this, whether consciously or unconsciously, you're then met with the purple transmuting flame. This column reminds you that you can bring it in. You can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. You just send them back to pure consciousness, they're no more. They're gone. Permanently. Then you're met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds you that you can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, and you can cleanse and purify the area where these lower frequencies were, restoring your vibrational harmony and frequencies, the highest and deepest eternal love and gratitude, sealing the breach, balancing you in the light of the God of love that's created you. We then continue to levitate up, and we come upon a massive crystalline light tower, and it is larger than the solar system. We created it. We designed it so that you can look into it. You see this beautiful kind of it's an auric field, and it has trillions of vibrant colors in a warm, smooth emission. And the center has a golden light in it. And you see all these beautiful trillions of colors softly vibrating out and saturating, flooding, and bathing every one of us in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal love and gratitude. It's spectacular. And then we go to the top, and we design the top so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees perpetually, eternally. And this golden ocean is flooding, saturating, and bathing everything, lifting and disintegrating all the goop, all the muck, all the lower dark vibrational frequencies They cannot sustain themselves around high vibrational frequencies, just like we cannot sustain ourselves around low dark matter frequencies. When your frequency is high, you will not be in those lower frequencies. And as long as you learn and understand who and what you are, and you keep that vibrational frequency high, which is your natural state of being, then those lower dark matter frequencies, survival matter frequencies, shall never appear again. Now, we are all drops of the golden ocean, and we all hold the essence of the golden ocean. Now, we move a little bit higher, ascend a little bit more, and we come across our meditative sphere. We created this sphere well over 2 years ago. It holds well over 900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Millions and millions and millions of us, just on this planet, send the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude in every single one of these meditations. It is so omnipotent powerful that it floods, bathes, and saturates each and every one of us perpetually, second to second, eternally. Deep eternal love, gratitude, joy, happiness, bliss. It harmonizes with that of which we are and made of and from love. This is why it can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and continues to expand. We're all being communicated with from source creation. Every split second, through our heart minds, we are discovering every single step we take internally of who and what we are. We eliminate all of the garbage that we drag with us, once and for all, surrendering, embracing, and letting go permanently. We must have an empty vessel in order to bring in all of the phenomenal experiences that are awaiting us in the higher realm of higher frequencies. Feel this, understand it, embrace it with your deep eternal love. I'll join you in a meditation. I'll return to close us out. becoming lighter as you empty and dispose of all of the rotting remnants of the past. All the things that you maybe don't want to visit, and eliminate them. Put them in the leaf bags, way out, and let them just become compost. Empty yourself of all of the debris that has clouded and fogged your path, so that it is clean, pristine, to receive all the vibrant and joyous experiences waiting to come flooding in. Take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will be sharing this particular meditation to assist you with doing that. We will be back here Sunday